Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergok, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at Rudeus Eye of Foresight, how he acquired it, and why this is actually really important in the grander scheme of things. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's start with the topic at hand. Bardigadi bestows knowledge, Ratove bestows strength, and Kishirika Kishirisu bestows eyes. And while Rudy has already met two of the three demonic rulers, arguably the biggest power-up he has received has come in the form of Kishirika Kishirisu, being able to give him a demon eye of his choice. In exchange for a favor, of course, which in Kishirika's case had been a meal. Not a bad deal, if you think about it. And among the many eyes Kishirika could offer anyone, the Eye of Foresight is special, since it alone bestows future vision upon its wielder. However, this comes with a pretty hefty price, since demon eyes are very hard to control, and even Ghislaine, a sword king, someone who trained under Galfarion, the current sword god, and who mastered herself and the blade, was actually never able to master her own eye, which enables her to see mana. Similar to Kakashi Hatake's Sharingan, she therefore has to cover it, unless she wanted to use it. So again, a sword king being unable to master this most common of demon eyes, despite having it for her entire life, is quite telling how powerful and demanding they are. And even Rudeus Gereirad, who is after all a self-taught caster, someone who had managed to learn magic while still being only a kid through self-study alone, someone who ingrained the very process of learning magic into his very own mind since he could walk, was therefore still challenged to master his own eye, the Eye of Foresight, once he had received it. And as I said, the eye allows its wielders to peer into the future. The future one peers into is then less and less clear and becomes more and more blurry, simply because one can peer farther and farther into it. And the farther you peer into it, the more blurry the images will become. And you will see also more and more branching futures that will be shown to you, meaning it will be harder to actually understand what will happen if you peer too far into it. And also peering too far into the future will also cause all of these potential futures to overlap. And therefore the entire picture will become even less clear and defined, simply because there are so many possibilities how one could move and behave and what could happen, and how one could react. So Rudeus limit himself to just a single second ahead, which is enough for his movement and reflexes to react to most attacks, while also short enough that the opponent in front of Rudeus could not react to Rudeus' changed movement and behavior. Of course, if someone is exceedingly fast and unpredictable, like Dragon God Orsted, the future sight would not be able to catch up and pinpoint the very moves Orsted is going to pull off. Something that sent Rudy in a panic before Orsted crushed his lungs. But in general, it is a very useful feature, especially because Rudy could not use Battle Aura, the protective and enhancing mana cloak that most melee combatants use. So dodging, evading, and countering enemies, or just hitting the position the enemy is moving into with magic, becomes way easier with this very eye. And now, spoiler alert, here's why Hitogami wanted to get Rudy this very eye. Simply speaking, the pixelated nude guy that appears in Rudeus' dreams is not a good and benevolent entity. Who would have guessed? And he did not want Rudy and Roxy to get together. So he gave Rudy an opportunity to get this awesome eye. And this led to Rudy and Roxy missing one another in Windport, where they once almost had met. This is also why Hitogami told Rudy to trust and rely upon Rujet, since Roxy would be absolutely terrified of him, and why Hitogami set up the conflict between Rudy and Nokopara, because Nokopara used to be a former teammate of Roxy and her adventurer group, so his death would not only have negatively impacted the relationship with Roxy and Rudy, but also prevented Nokopara from telling Roxy to go seek out her parents, which led to them telling Roxy about Rudy's visit. And of course, this is also why Hitogami wanted Rudy to mate with Linear Persina and stay in the academy, instead of going to save his mother, because Roxy is basically the female equivalent to Belle from the anime Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? As in, Roxy deliberately ventures into dungeons and hopes to one day meet a handsome and kind gentleman with the power to save her from utmost peril. So yes, Rudy isn't the only person with some questionable preferences. So in order to understand all of this, Hitogami doesn't want Rudy and Roxy to meet. And currently, Roxy is basically waiting for Rudy in a dungeon. And that's why he didn't want Rudeus to meet Roxy. Also, finally, I have hinted that Konosuba and Mushoku Tensei have a few things in common. And if you have seen the trailer to the rescue arc, you would now know that Rudy is also going to fight an incredibly powerful Hydra. And Konosuba also has the parallels to Mushoku Tensei, so you can basically see the lighthearted or the very grim dark version of it, depending on which anime you choose to follow. And again, my advice, just watch both of them. And why Hitogami advises Rudeus to do all of this, and what he gains from preventing Rudy and Roxy's meetup, will be discussed in a future video. And with that said, now it's your turn. What do you think about Rudeus' Demon Eye, and why he had received it? Let me know it down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Other Daddy Other, ASK, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Bizarre, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Din Pep, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Le Louche Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shangox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Sonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.